Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. First, sorry about the delay in getting this to you. It should have been a lot earlier, but the mental stuff. Second, thanks for everybody who sent the well wishes. Not all the way back, but I think I'm probably about a week away. So definitely making progress. Today has been my best day since this whole thing started. So yeah, so overall, this postseason, I've gone 7-5 in my predictions. And then for the championship games, I got the Chiefs game wrong and the Niners game right. My thinking on the Chiefs game was that this Chiefs team had been kind of underwhelming all year, and that Baltimore had one of those very those super elite defenses that you only see every 7 or 8 years, and those defenses seem to always win. And I guess there's always exceptions, right? I think what happened with the Chiefs game, there's a couple of things. One is I had underestimated how that the Kansas City offense really had turned the corner at the end of the season, the last game of the season, first game of the playoffs. It took them a while. It took them a long time to put things together this year, but the Kansas City offense is finally gelled, just in time for the postseason. And I think that was part of it. And that's, but then also I didn't appreciate just how good the Kansas City defense is. Like, it's not quite as good as the Ravens, but it's the next closest thing probably. The Kansas City defense is really good. And so it's kind of an unusual situation that, like, yes, the Baltimore has a dominant defense, but so does Kansas City. And I was thinking of it mainly as Baltimore's defense versus Kansas City's offense. And the thing is, over the course of the game, Baltimore's defense did pretty well. They held Kansas City to 17 points. And I guess I just assumed that would be enough to win. And usually it would, but Kansas City's defense is elite too. And Lamar just never had a chance. Lamar Jackson is not an elite quarterback. There's been people trying to say that this year, especially after the Texans game. He's the same guy he's always been. He's good, but there's only 3 elite quarterbacks in the league: Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen. And then there's that next tier, and you can kind of put whoever you want in any order in that tier. But like Lamar is, very similar to Jalen Hurts. The guy, there's this, it's this cliche, can't read a defense. Like, well, what does that mean? The truth is, anybody can read a defense. It's not rocket science. The thing is, it's how fast do you process it, and like, is it like, and if you process it just 0.2 of a second slower, then that can be the difference between an elite quarterback and a third stringer. Lamar has all the physical gifts. He has all the physical talents, the mobility, the arm strength, all that, the accuracy. He has everything. But he doesn't make the very fast reads. He doesn't make fast reads at all. Like Jalen Hurts doesn't make fast reads, but Jalen Hurts doesn't have Lamar's arm strength. And it's a real limitation to Lamar's game. If you look at the graded quarterbacks that there have been historically, they've been guys who've made extremely fast reads. And then you got a guy like, occasionally you'll see a guy like, and we'll talk about him in a minute, about like Purdy, who makes the reads as fast as Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, but just doesn't have the arm talent. And then so the guy ends up falling all the way to the last pick in the draft, and he's having success now. But I mean, I think there's enough tape to see that this guy isn't Joe Montana, no matter how much they try to make him that. Like, he's got the similar dimensions to Montana, although Purdy's more of like muscular, like stocky, whereas Joe Montana was a little bit more, just looked like a normal guy. And but Montana, like Purdy makes reads just as fast as Joe Montana does. But he doesn't have Joe Montana's arm talent. He doesn't have Joe Montana's, accuracy or precision on the downfield throws. And it wasn't like Joe Montana had a cannon arm, but it was good arm. And Purdy's arm is more in the average realm. So you see, like, if you were able to combine Lamar Jackson, if you were able to have Lamar Jackson make read defenses as fast as Brock Purdy, then yeah, you probably would have the greatest quarterback ever. You definitely would. But that's just not how it goes, you know. So you have a guy who Lamar's always going to be a guy who's going to do much better for you in the regular season. You know, guy who's, you know, when he can like feast on stuff like that, but he's always going to struggle against those elite defenses. So, you know, like, I guess I was right about how much trouble Mahomes would have with the Ravens defense, but I underestimate. I should have realized that Lamar wasn't going to have any success against a defense that's playing on as high a level as the Chiefs are right now. So that was my mistake, and that's why I was wrong. Hopefully, I am able to learn from that going forward. So the 49ers game versus the Lions, you know, 2 weeks in a row, the 49ers made it harder than it needed to be. But that says a lot about the character and the talent on the team, that they're able to, and the coaching to at least some extent, that they're able to maintain their composure, stick with it, and win. You know, in both games, I don't care how close the score was. The 49ers clearly outplayed the Packers and then the Lions. And those are decent teams. Those are good teams. The Lions are in a situation I think is similar to the Eagles next year, where there's this idea that, oh, okay, well, not this year, but we've got a chance. You know, we got a great build for the future. No, you don't. No. Just the Eagles. No, the Eagles were not in a good place for the future at the end of last season. I made a video talking about that. You know, they were in not a good place. For the Eagles, last year was now or never. For the Lions, this year was now or never. You know, it was, you know, the thing is, the Lions are only going to get worse. You know, just like, you know, the Eagles, this was it. This is as good as they're going to get. This iteration. You know, it had to be now. And Dan Campbell, you know, I can't stand the guy, but he said after the game, this may have been our only shot. Yeah, it was your only shot. You're not going to have another opportunity. You know, Jared Goff's good. I like Jared Goff. He's not going to get any better. He's not some kid. And, you know, you're going to have more offensive weapons than you have now? No, you're not. Your defense isn't going to get any better. So, I mean, no, this was it. And so no future at all for the Lions, no. I mean, maybe like if they want to be like, you know, a Cowboys or Eagles type perennial contender, you know, who never really an elite team. No, I mean they can just be contenders and then hope that they get hot at the right time and go on a run like the Ravens did with Flacco back in the day, or the Giants did with Eli twice. So I mean they can do that. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible. So but that's their only hope. There's certainly nothing beyond that to look forward to. But the Niners, though, are a really good team. I still think that the Niners are the best coached team in the league. I don't think they have the best front office in the league. If I had a criticism of the 49ers, it's that they're a very regular season team. You know, they're like, yeah, they made it to the Super Bowl, and they should have made it last year if it wasn't for idiot Kyle Shanahan leaving Hassan Reddick unblocked by design and getting his quarterback injured on like the second snap of the game. If it wasn't for that, the 49ers would have won that game, because the Eagles were frauds last year. So that they made it to the Super. So I'm not saying they can't win in the postseason. It's just that their system is so designed on like generating big plays in a way, and it's just easier to do that in the regular season. Whereas in like the playoffs, it becomes more about grinding it out, and that's not really them. They're really a big play team. And that gets into why I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win because the Chiefs do have the ability to grind it out. And the 49ers will make plays. I think the game will be very close in terms of score. In terms of score, it is. I think it'll be close. I think it'll come down to probably one controversial call or no call. People bitch all off season long about it, but that the Chiefs will come home with their win and with the win and their third title. That's what I hope. And then assuming that I'm right, then I'd be 8-5 for the playoffs, which is better than last year. So, I want to be like, I think as long as you're at least 60%, you're okay. 8-5 is still not 60%, but at least it's better than last year. My feeling these days is to just like to only do predictions in the playoffs, because the whole NFL regular season to me now is just like preseason. Like you just it's so week to week. It's so any given Sunday that it's much easier to make meaningful predictions when you get to the postseason. So anyway, yeah, hopefully the Chiefs, this way, the Chiefs can win because I want them to win anyway, but they also can win, to help my record. So that's what I think. I think the Chiefs are going to win. That's all for now. See you in the next.